Have you ever given your all to somebody and they still turn around and betray you? Like you would have done anything for them, and in the end they still treat you like you were nothing? That's the kind of pain that I want to talk about today, because betrayal doesn't just come from strangers. Betrayal hurts the most when it comes from the people you love, the people you trust, people you would have gone to war for. And it hurts the most when it comes from your best friend. See, the thing about me is when I love hard. When I call you my friend, that means I see you as family. I show up. I defend you. I support you. I put you before myself sometimes. I don't halfway love anybody. I don't play about loyalty. But what happens when you give all that loyalty, all that love, and it's not appreciated? What happens when the same people you would have never betrayed in a million years turn around and do the exact things you thought that they would never do to you? That's what betrayal really is. It's not just the action, it's the shock. It's the disbelief. It's sitting there like, wow, I would have never did that to you, not in a million years. And now I have to accept the fact that you didn't love me the way that I loved you. And a part that stings even more is when they flip the script, when they try to play the victim, when they tell their side loud to anybody who will listen, while I sit there quiet, while I choose not to defend myself to the world, because at the end of the day, I know my truth and God knows my truth. And here's the thing, I could have easily came online. I could have told everybody the truth. I could have cleared up my name, exposed what actually happened, made sure everybody saw you for who you really are, but I didn't. Because I knew if I told people the truth, they'd look at you differently. People wouldn't like you anymore. They'd think you were a terrible person. And the sad part is, because I love so hard and I care so deeply, even after everything that you did to me, I still don't have it in me to do that to you. I still can't bring myself to destroy your character, even though you had no problem destroying mine. And that's when it hit me. What we had was never love. You never loved me. You never cared for me the way I cared for you, because I know what love looks like. Love doesn't try to ruin your name. Love doesn't betray you and then flip the story. And the fact that I'm still letting you win, the fact that I'm still sitting here protecting you instead of myself, just proves how much I really cared for you. Because after everything, I'm still here trying to shield you. And that's not strength, that's love. But it's one-sided. So that's the kind of betrayal we're diving into in this video, because it's not just about losing a friend, it's about losing the version of yourself that believed in them. It's about questioning your own loyalty, your own love, wondering, why didn't I see it sooner? Why didn't I see the signs? So if you've ever given your all to somebody who turned out to be a snake in disguise, this video is for you. And I'm gonna break it down piece by piece, the weight of loyalty, the red flags we ignore, the way they flip the story, the loneliness after betrayal, and most importantly, the lessons I've had to learn to never let happen again. Because losing a friend like that doesn't just hurt, it changes you. And I know I'm not the only one who's been there. You know what loyalty does to you? It blinds you. Loyalty is such a beautiful thing when it's shared both ways, when it's reciprocated. But when it's not, loyalty turns into your biggest downfall. And me, I've always been the type of person to ride for people way harder than they ever rode for me. And it's not because I expected anything back. It's just because that's just genuinely who I am. If I call you my friend, if I call you my family, then I'm standing on that through every season, through every storm, through every mistake. I don't half love people. I don't half support people. When I say I got you, I mean that with everything in me. But the problem is, not everybody deserves that kind of loyalty. And it took me years to realize that, because when you're a loyal person, you don't really look at people and think, they could hurt me. You think they're going to ride for me the same way I ride for them. You assume your loyalty is enough to make somebody else loyal. But here's the reality. People don't change just because you love them harder. People don't just suddenly become better just because you gave them another chance. Loyalty doesn't fix betrayal, and yet so many of us stay. We stay because we think our loyalty is going to make them wake up one day and appreciate us. And here's what makes it worse. Loyalty doesn't just make you blind to who they are. It blinds you from who you are becoming. Because while you're giving everything, while you're pouring yourself into them, you're slowly draining yourself dry. You don't even realize that you're losing pieces of yourself just to keep them whole. I can't tell you how many nights I sat there trying to figure out what more I could have done. How many times I blamed myself, because when you're loyal, you think that every failure in your friendship or relationship must have been your fault. Maybe I didn't support them enough. Maybe I didn't love them enough. Maybe if I just showed up one more time, they would finally show up for me. But loyalty doesn't work like that. Loyalty doesn't mean killing yourself just to keep somebody else alive. Loyalty doesn't mean you keep forgiving betrayal just because you once shared good memories. And what hurts the most is realizing that while you were being loyal, they were planning their exit. While you were protecting their name, they were ruining yours. While you were holding on to that friendship with both hands, they were already letting go. And that's the weight of loyalty. It's heavy. It's exhausting. And the hardest part is when you realize you were carrying it alone the whole time, because loyalty isn't loyalty when it's one-sided. It's self-destruction dressed up as love. And I had to learn that the hard way. And you know what hurts more than betrayal? Is silence. Because when everything went down, I had two choices. I could have opened my mouth. I could have told my side. I could have exposed every single detail of what happened. I could have cleared my name. And honestly, if I did that, people would have believed me. People would have seen the truth for what it really was. People would have looked at you differently, and they would have realized who was really in the wrong. But I didn't. I stayed silent, not because I didn't have the words, not because I was scared, but because even after everything you did to me, I still couldn't bring myself to hurt you. I couldn't bring myself to ruin your image, your name, your reputation, because no matter how much pain you caused me, a part of me still loved you. A part of me still cared. And that silence, it eats at you. Because while the world is looking at me like I'm the villain, while people are pointing fingers saying it must have been her fault, I'm sitting here with the truth burning a hole inside of me. I'm sitting here knowing that I could flip the whole narrative in a second if I just wanted to, but I chose not to. That's how I know what we had was never love, because love doesn't betray, love doesn't lie, love doesn't throw you under the bus and then play victim. And the fact that even after all that, I still tried to protect you, that's not because you loved me. That's because I loved you. That's because I cared more about you than you ever cared about me. And here's the thing about silence. People think it's peace. But silence isn't peaceful when you're holding in pain. Silence is loud. Silence keeps you up at night. Silence has you replaying everything in your head over and over again. Silence makes you question yourself. Did I do the right thing? Should I have spoken up? Should I have defended myself? But the truth is, silence also showed me something important. It showed me that I don't need to prove myself to anybody. I don't need to get online and beg people to believe me. Because at the end of the day, I know the truth. And God knows the truth. And time will always reveal who people really are. The pain of silence is real, it's heavy, but it also teaches you strength. It teaches you patience. And it teaches you that not every battle needs to be fought out loud. Sometimes the loudest move you can make is saying nothing at all. But don't get it twisted. Silence isn't weakness. Silence is knowing that I could destroy you with the truth, but choosing not to. Silence is letting God handle what I don't need to explain. Silence is my revenge, even if it hurts me in the process. You know what's crazy about betrayal? It's not just what they did to you, it's how they flip it. Somehow you end up carrying the blame. Somehow you end up being painted as the bad guy. And it's wild because I know in my heart, I never went out of my way to hurt you. I never plotted on you. I never betrayed you. But the way you told your story, the way you twisted it, suddenly I'm the selfish one. Suddenly I'm the one who didn't care. Suddenly I'm the villain. And because I didn't defend myself, because I didn't come online crying, because I didn't spill every detail, people believed it. People assume that silence equals guilt. They assume that because you spoke first, you must have been telling the truth. And I had to sit with that. I had to sit with the weight of being misunderstood, with the weight of people whispering about me, pointing fingers at me, questioning my character. Do you know how heavy that is? Carrying the blame that was never yours, carrying guilt for something that you didn't even do, carrying the reputation of being fake or disloyal, when in reality, I was the most loyal one in the room. But here's the truth I had to learn. I don't need to carry that blame. I don't need to carry that guilt. Because at the end of the day, you can play victim all you want, but deep down, you know what you did. You know the truth about how it all went down, and the way you keep painting me as the villain only shows me that you're trying to cover up your own guilt. And I had to remind myself that other people's perception of me isn't my responsibility. What they choose to believe, what they choose to say, that's on them. Because I know my truth, and God knows my truth. And the thing about blame is, it gets heavy, but eventually it falls off when the truth comes out. So yeah, you made me the villain. You made me carry the weight of your betrayal. But I've learned that I'd rather be misunderstood for staying silent than lower myself to your level just to prove a point. Because at the end of the day, I can live with my truth. But can you live with yours? You know what betrayal really taught me? It taught me lessons that I wish I didn't have to learn this way. It taught me loyalty is rare, that love doesn't always mean safe, and that the closest people to you are the only ones who can cut you deep enough to scar. But more than anything, it taught me about me. See, when you get betrayed, your first instinct is to blame them. And don't get me wrong, their actions were foul. But after the anger, after the crying, after the heartbreak, you gotta sit with yourself. And that's when I had to realize I let this happen too many times. I let red flags slide. I gave too many chances. I stayed quiet when I should have spoken up. I believed in words instead of actions. And at the end of the day, yeah, they hurt me, but I have to take accountability too. And that's the hardest part, is realizing you played a role in your own heartbreak. Realizing that the reason they kept doing it is because you kept allowing it. And then when you understand boundaries aren't just about keeping the other people in check. They're about protecting your own heart. And another lesson betrayal taught me, not everybody who claps for you is happy for you. Some people are in secret competition with you. Some people love you when you're down, but the moment you start rising, they feel threatened. And instead of being inspired by you, they start resenting you. And that was a tough pill to swallow, because I never cared about being ahead of anybody. I wanted us all to win. I wanted us all to eat. But betrayal opened my eyes that not everybody thinks like that. And the biggest lesson of it all is healing doesn't mean getting revenge. Healing doesn't mean proving yourself. Healing means accepting what happened, learning from it, and moving forward stronger. I had to learn that I don't need closure from you to move on. I don't need your apology to heal. I don't need the world to know my side to find peace. My peace comes from within me, not from you. And now I move differently. My boundaries are higher. My circle is smaller and my energy is protected because betrayal taught me that not everyone deserves access to me. Not everybody deserves my loyalty. And if I ever have to question whether you're really for me, then you're not for me at all. So yeah, betrayal hurt and it broke me for a while and still does. But it also built me. It also taught me to stop overextending, to stop ignoring the signs, to stop giving my all to people who wouldn't even give me half. And for that, as painful as it is and was, I'm grateful because it made me wiser. It made me stronger. It made me love myself enough to never let it happen again. And you know what nobody ever tells you about betrayal? It's not just the anger. It's not just the heartbreak. It's the loneliness and the silence that comes after. Because when someone you love, someone you trusted with everything betrays you, it's like the ground gets ripped from underneath you. One day they're your safe place, your number one, your person, and the next they're gone. Or worse, they're still there, but they're just not the same. And suddenly you're left with this empty space inside of you that you don't even know how to fill. And that's the part that nobody warns you about, the quiet. No more text first thing in the morning. No more random calls, just a laugh at nothing. No more, you'll never believe what just happened to me moments. It's just silence. And in that silence, the memories get louder. The conversations replay in your head. The laughs echo in your chest. The love you thought you had. The loyalty that you thought was real. It all starts to haunt you. The loneliness of betrayal is different than regular loneliness. Because it's not just about being without somebody. It's about being without the person you thought would never leave. It's questioning everything you shared. Did they ever really care? Did they mean the things that they said? Was I blind the whole time? You start doubting yourself. You start doubting your worth. You start doubting if love and loyalty even existed in a way you believed it did. The loneliness of betrayal has taught me to become my own peace, to be my own safe space, to be the person who claps for myself, who checks in on myself, who loves myself in the way I was out here loving everybody else. And once you learn that, once you learn how to turn loneliness into strength, betrayal can't break you the same way ever again. And you know what eats me up the most? The fact that you don't even care that I'm not there anymore. Like I was the one who gave you everything, my time, my energy, my love, my loyalty, and now that I'm gone, it doesn't even faze you. And the part that hurts even more, you're the one who did the wrong. You're the one who betrayed me, and somehow you get to live your life happy every single day like nothing ever happened. You wake up and you laugh, you post, you go out, you enjoy yourself with no trauma, no guilt, no pain weighing you down. While me, I'm over here breaking down every single night. I'm over here crying, replaying it all, wondering why I wasn't enough, wondering why you chose to do what you did. And it's not just about losing you, it's about what losing you did to me. Because now every new friend I try to make, every new man I try to love, every person I try to trust, I'm scared, I'm broken, I'm cautious, and I'm hurt. I walk around with walls so high that nobody can even climb them because of the damage you left behind, the damage you never cared to fix. And here's the part that twists the knife. Not only do you not care enough to apologize, you don't even care enough to acknowledge what you did. You can't accept the fact that you were in the wrong. You can't admit it. You would rather live in denial than face the truth of what you chose to do to somebody who loved every single ounce of you, not for what you had, not for what you could give me, but simply for you. And maybe that's what hurts the most, knowing that I could love you through your flaws, through your struggles, through your darkest moments, and you still chose to hurt me. And then you just moved on like I was nothing, like I was disposable. Meanwhile, I'm left carrying this weight. I'm left questioning love, questioning loyalty, questioning myself. And the unfair part is, you're not the one suffering. I'm the one paying the price for your choices. But you know what I've been learning? That's the thing about betrayal. It always leaves one person broken and the other person unbothered. And as much as it hurts, I have to remind myself I can't let your lack of remorse stop me from healing, because waiting for an apology that's never coming, that's just another way of letting you in. So yeah, you might be living life unbothered, untouched by guilt, while I'm over here trying to piece myself back together. But one day I'll find peace in knowing that even in all my pain, I never turned into you. Even in all my suffering, I never became the kind of person who could destroy somebody who loved me. And that's something you'll never be able to say. You know, after everything I've said, after everything I've been through, here's the truth. Betrayal hurts in a way that nothing else can. It cuts deeper than heartbreak because it comes from somebody you let in, somebody you trusted, somebody you would have gone to war for. It hits different, and that pain, it lingers. But here's another side of it. Betrayal doesn't just break you, it teaches you, and it shows you things about yourself that you didn't want to see. Like how long you stayed when you should have walked away, and how many chances you gave when deep down you knew that you deserved better. How much of yourself that you poured out even when you weren't getting anything back. And that's where the shift happens, because once you realize that, you realize something else. That you're stronger than you think, and you're wiser than you were before. You're tougher because you had no choice but to be. And that strength, That's something nobody can take from you, not even the people who betrayed you. And the hardest part is accepting that you might never get closure. You might never get an apology. You might never hear them admit what they did because their pride won't let them. Or maybe because deep down, they don't even feel like they were wrong. And that hurts, but closure doesn't come from them. It comes from you by deciding, I'm done letting this define me, and I'm done carrying the pain that doesn't belong to me anymore. And that's what I want anybody watching this to know. You're not weak for being hurt. You're not stupid for loving, and you're not dumb for being loyal. The truth is, your loyalty, your love, and your energy is a gift, and not everybody deserves it, but that doesn't mean you stop giving it. It just means you stop giving it to the wrong people, because one day somebody will value it. Somebody will appreciate it, and somebody will look at you and never want to risk losing you. And that's when you'll understand why you had to go through the things that you went through to make space for the people who are actually meant for you. So yeah, betrayal hurt me. It broke me. It made me cry nights I didn't even want to wake up from. But it also pushed me into a version of myself that knows my worth now, that won't settle, that won't hand out chances to people who've already shown me who they are. And if you're listening to this and you've been through something similar, I just want you to know that you're not alone. We've all loved the wrong people. We've all given our best to people who couldn't even give us their bare minimum. But what matters the most is what you do next. Don't let it harden you. Don't let it make your heart cold. Let it sharpen you. Let it strengthen you. Let it guide you to the people who won't just take from you, but will also pour into you the same way you pour into them. Because at the end of the day, betrayal might have been part of your story, but it doesn't have to be the ending. You get to decide how the rest of your story goes.